Bonjour français, c'est Madame Torres. This week I'm going to talk to you about what you have due in Module 7. So last week we worked a little bit at the beginning of Module 7, and this week we're getting into a couple more things that sometimes can be a little bit confusing. So I'm looking at our calendar here, and I see we have 701, 702, and 703 to be completed. Notice that the voice activity for 703 is dropped, so you don't have to do that. Before we get into what the actual assessments are that you're going to complete this week, there are a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. The first thing is academic integrity. I noticed that as we get into Module 6 and go into Module 7, things start to get a little bit more difficult. You have to start writing a lot more complete sentences, coming up with responses on your own, and it's really important that you maintain academic integrity. What that means is you're doing your own work. So going online, perhaps, to try and translate a word, I can understand doing it from the French to the English. So if you don't understand what a question is asking, perhaps you might want to do that. But I really would avoid doing it, especially going back from English to French. A lot of things are lost in translation. And it's not showing me the work that you do or what you know in your own brain. So make sure that you're using other sources to help you answer these questions. First, of course, there's me, right? You can call me, you can text me, you can email me and ask me for help. The other thing I'm going to show you is that you actually have a glossary. So let's say we're working in Module 7. I'm just going to go into 701. And to work on the assignment, I'm forgetting how to use some vocabulary. You actually have a glossary that you have access to all the time. So right here, there's a little map. Right below it, there's a G, book with a G. You just click on that and it opens up your glossary. So let's take a look at the glossary. The glossary has French to English automatically. So if you want to give it a word in English so you can find out its French translation, you just click here. And maybe I'm looking up the word read. I want to know how we say to read. There you go. On my Mac, I click, not Mac, sorry, on my PC, I click Control F, and it automatically has a little pop-up here where I can type in the word I'm looking for. If you have a Mac, you might not be able to use that same control, but either way, if you don't want to use that, you can click on any of these here at the top, right? So this glossary is a great resource to look for words that you don't understand. Okay, so we talked about that. Another thing I want to make sure you're doing is checking the comments that I leave for all of your assignments. So whether you're clicking on Gradebook here or going to your menu and checking out your gradebook, you should be checking that every week. Perhaps even every time you're going to log into your French class to do something, go into your gradebook and see how you're doing so far. Check and see all the comments that I read. I even leave comments on assignments that you get 100% on. So I want you to take the time to read through them just like I take the time to write them. One last thing I want to tell you about is our leaderboard. Remember, leaderboard has to do with participation and coming to live lessons. So it's going to change every week. Tuesday, tomorrow, is your next opportunity to come in and earn points towards the leaderboard. The more points you get, the higher you go on the leaderboard. And eventually you can even get it to the point where your name stays there at the top of it. So it all depends on you. Okay, let's actually get into the lesson. So this week I said you have 701, 702, and 703. We're going to talk a little bit about 701 today and talk about 702 as well. And then we're going to do one of the other assignments later in the live lesson tomorrow. So you're learning about weather. You're learning about the activities that you do and different types of weather, whether it's outdoors or indoors. In Module 6, you already learned some vocabulary associated with different activities. So here you're going to learn about different types of weather. As you go through the lesson, please make sure that you take notes. I'm going to skip forward to the assignment. And I believe this is a voice activity. Yes, this is a voice activity that you have to complete for 701. Question number 1, what is the weather like? Literally, you learn exactly how to answer that question and how to even ask that question in this lesson. Question number 2, please be careful. It's asking, are you hot today? It's using the verb avoir. This is very, very important. I have many students who have turned this one in and gotten it wrong. When we're talking about whether we're hot or cold, tired, hungry, thirsty, we use the verb avoir. And if you don't remember that, check back into module 5. And then the last one, pourquoi vas-tu à la piscine aujourd'hui? Why are you going to the pool today? Perhaps you're not, so you're practicing making negative sentences if that's what you want to do for that. 702 is culture. So you're going to learn about this city of Nice, and we're going to talk even more about Nice in our live lesson on Tuesday. So maybe take some time to go through the lesson and read a little bit about this southern town. You're also going to learn about the Alps and still describing more of the weather in French, which is very important. We want to practice as much as possible. Let's check out that assignment. Okay, looks like you have a quiz for 702. So practice your vocabulary. You should be using your note-taking guide. If you're not, please use your note-taking guide and fill it in. 703, remember you have the voice assignment is dropped, but this is a written assignment and it can be a little overwhelming. So that's why we are doing this assignment in the live lesson tomorrow, Tuesday. So you're going to learn more about activities that you do and the weather that comes with them. I want you to read through this lesson, okay? Briefly go through it, take some notes on it. And this is what the assignment is. You're going to write your first letter. You're going to include numbers 1 through 6 in your letter. Complete sentences are an expectation for this assignment. You're going to pick up a country that is a French-speaking country. So there's more than one, remember. You're going to write at least 5 sentences total. You're going to tell me when you're going to visit this place. You're going to tell me about the weather there, 3 things that you take with you, and 2 activities you do while there. Everything that you need to know is in this lesson. So when it comes to doing different activities, that's exactly what you cover practicing in this lesson. An example of this would be, I'm going to France, or I would like to go to France. I would like to go in October, okay? And if you check out the example here, they say, cher Jean, or dear, you know, whoever, salut, comment ça va, how are you? I would like to visit. Je voudrais means I would like. So you're going to use that pretty often. Je voudrais. I would like. So I would say I would like to go in the month. It will be, I'll talk about the weather using the fair expressions you're going to learn about in the previous module or the previous lesson. Articles of clothing we learned in module 5. So if you don't remember articles of clothing, please check there. And then the 2 activities you'll learn about in this lesson. Now there's one other thing that I have added, and this is the last thing for today. When you go into your assessments tab and you're going to complete an assignment, some of these assignments are going to have reminders. So let me show you an example of a reminder for 701. This voice activity for 701 has a reminder. So you need to pay attention and see if there's a blue box from now on when you go into an assignment. And this is my reminder, pretty much the same thing as I told you before. If you are hot, we use avoir. Avoir expressions. For weather expression review, that video, right? So just little reminders like that are going to be in many of your assignments. I've already uploaded many of them for Module 7, and I will be working on Modules 8 and 9. Please remember to call or text me if you need any help with anything. I'm here to help you out with learning French. Au revoir. See you soon.